Welcome back to the Honor Misfit Toy Collectors. Dreadnought Ryan here. Hey, it is Best of 2023 G.I. Joe Classified Edition. I'm doing a Best of instead of a Top 10. We had so much product that hit towards the end of 2023. I didn't have enough time to play with my toys to choose a Top 10, so I'm going to cheat a little bit, but I can. It's my channel, so let's have fun with this. I do also want to hear about your Best of. Which G.I. Joe Classified figures did you like best for 2023? And then which figures are you looking forward to the most for 2024? So, with all of that said, I will also tell you that I did combine some repaints into one. I did combine certain sub-teams. And then, of course, the particular HasLab item, I did combine that with the fire team as well, which, let's start out with that. It is one of my honorable mentions. Why is this a honorable mention and not in a best of? Quite simply, it's a HasLab product. If you did not have the opportunity to purchase it at the time that the campaign was going on, he basically didn't allow everybody to get in on it, but you did. Like I was able to. It's an absolutely amazing toy. I love the figures that it came with: the driver, the gunner, of course the tactician. But what were the sprinkles on top of this cupcake? It's the fire team. Yes, there are all repaints of existing figures, but they do just add that little bit extra spice at the end to make this a complete item. So that is why I combine these two. So it's not just the Hiss and the fire team, but it's the Hiss tank fire team. So you're looking at these 6 figures particularly that complete this particular item. And as we move into 2024 and we see more vehicles that will join the classified line, this will make it even better and funner to play with your toys when you can have your Hiss versus your Dragonfly, or your Hiss versus your Vamp, or maybe even a Stinger, an SMS. We know there's more items that are going to come out that will be able to tie into this particular item. Next up, General Hawk. Another one of these figures that came at the end of 2023, which made it kind of difficult for me to go, hey, is he a top 10 or not? But I will say this, I absolutely adore this figure. It's a nice throwback figure. It's been classified enough, so it's been upgraded. Head sculpt is absolutely amazing, and I just love this particular figure. General Hawk was not always the favorite from me back in the day, but this particular figure is nice to have in hand and to go with my Joes. Next up, Tripwire. How do you take basically a Minesweep and you turn him into an EOD? Well, the Joe team were able to do that. And when you include him with, I'm going to hope I say this right, but Apsara and McLeod, all the different accessories and the loadouts. You could have the classic Tripwire, you could have EOD, Hurt Locker style Tripwire. It just made this deluxe figure really fun. One of the only figures I didn't have to add more stuff to make me happy. Not so much like it was missing anything, but just something that I like to do is just take my figures to the next level. The Valkyries, it's always great to have more females into your Cobra troop builders. If you were a fan of the G.I. Joe Collector Club, you know that they did have that 3-pack of female blue shirts, and now we have these with classified as well too. There were a couple different versions of Cobra blue shirts, as I said, in the modern line, whether it was provided by Hasbro or the club, and these figures don't disappoint either. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the brown web gear that one of the figures came with, but I do have to say it did grow on me, and I did add some new weapons for some of the loadouts that I had picked up from Gridiron for these particular figures. But with the swappable heads, if you did buy multiples of these packs, it allows you really to customize your troop and build them out from there. Next up, Lowlight. He was a favorite for me as a child. Absolutely adored him. The modern version was amazing as well too, and the classified just took both amazing figures and made it better. The fact that he does not have an overlay and it was all sculpted makes it easier for you to get him into different poses as a sniper. I love the fact that the goggles do come off. The accessories were really good as well too. I did upgrade my particular Lowlight, but that's more so because he's a favorite of mine and I wanted to give him a 50 cal, which we did see with the modern version. So, but he is definitely one of my favorites. And again, I know he's an honorable mention, but I think it's more so just there's some really great figures that were best of. Shadow Tracker, this is a figure that I literally just recently got. If you had him during the Pursuit of Cobra line, you know how great this figure was. Um, nice update in use of the Zartan buck, just loaded with different accessories. He is a different type of Cobra, uh, with being a jungle trooper type, with the mask. And of course, the head sculpt is just absolutely amazing, and the other little detailed parts that he comes with. So if you are able to pick him up, please do. He is a cool figure to have, and I can't wait till it warms up and we can get some outside picks and some more Dio shots. Let's get started to the best of. Of course, I am Dreadnought Ryan, and you know that I had to pick Dreadnoughts. Buzzer and Ripper are two of my favorites. I wish we had Torch in 2023, but I will take these two particular knocks. The only real drawback I will say about these particular figures, and I think that a lot of other folks did too, not having the backpacks for them, and then just I like the fact that we got a lot of the newer updates for some of their weaponry, but I did end up loading mine out with some gridiron stuff, just because it's that nice throwback, but it gives it a little bit more of that Mad Max feel. Now, overall sculpt for both of these figures are absolutely amazing. I love the detail that we got in both figures. Just the little things, the dog tags, the little sheriff's badges that you see on Buzzer. They're all home runs, and I can tell that Lenny and team are fans of the Dreadnoughts, as you've seen amazing figures that they put out. Next up, a surprise for me was Mole Rats. This figure is absolutely bonkers to me. It hits a lot of the, I don't want to call the little kid in me, but it has glow-in-the-dark type features. It has black light features, and it's a zombie type figure. A nice addition to the G.I. Joe line. It is a new figure for Classified, but I think it was done right. It is a figure that falls, I believe, into the Dark Energon universe, which is part of the Skybound G.I. Joe series for the comics. But it would make sense that Cobra would use people to mine for this Dark Energon and be damned with what could happen to them, and it's produced zombies. The Energon effect in the head, and if you shine a black light or charge it with regular sunlight or a flashlight, does glow in the dark, and then just some of the other features that come along with this figure just make him an absolute joy to play with. Tunnel Rat is one of those figures that I absolutely adored, the Real American Hero line, and then to find out it was kind of like a nod to Larry Hama for everything that he did for the G.I. Joe line, creating the backstories and everything for all these figures. This is kind of a nice mix of the Real American Hero with the modern version. The sculpting for the head, the figure, the accessories, the nice nods to the past are all home runs. Just absolutely adore this figure, and I can't wait to see what the Night Force version looks like for him as well, too. This is one where I did combine these two because I don't think you can have one without the other. And as we expand the Classified line into the Arctic, if you will, or cold weather, we have Snow Job and Snow Serpent. Only drawback for these two particular figures is they were both deluxe. I guess for Snow Job, it's not a bad thing, but for the Snow Serpent, people want to troop build these particular figures because that's what you need to do for Cobra. It is nice to know that we will see these in a retro card, so you can get a little bit of a cheaper version of this figure down the road, and then use these particular Snow Serpents as your officers. But with all of that said, with having the butterflies that go up and down as well as forward and back, it was a nice inclusion. Snow Job's head sculpt is absolutely amazing. Robert Redford, I believe, was from Man from Snowy River. Could be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But the accessories that they came loaded out with, whether it's snowshoes or skis or snowboard, different things like that. The Snow Serpent with the wolf cape and cowl, as well as all the accessories that you receive with these figures, just absolutely amazing. Being here in the northern hemisphere of the United States, we will hopefully have more snow on the ground where we can really get out and play with our toys in the cold weather. Scrap Iron, not that he just came with the Death Tesla, which was an amazing addition to this particular figure. But the fact that it's a nice throwback and homage to the A Real American Hero scrap iron. I love the fact that you can take the helmet off and you can actually see the damage to his face. Just an absolute home run. Scrap iron was always a favorite of mine growing up. I don't think he got enough credit or praise back in the day because he was kind of seen as a stooge for either Cobra Commander or Destro. But I think he's an absolutely amazing figure. And again, the Joe team just knocked this one out of the park. Rock and Roll seems to be a lover-hate type of figure for the classified line. I think it is a nice update while still giving a nod to the past. I love the updated shirt. That two-tone for the tan and the olive drab is awesome. I love the accessories that he comes with, his belts, of course, his heavy-duty machine gun and the ammo belts they come with as well. I do like the fact that he does include the tattoos, which is what we see more of now compared to what we saw in the 80s. But I think just for me, this was like that home run Rock and Roll. Like when I got him and I opened him up, I just could not stop, posing him and taking pictures and doing different things like that. I just think it's an amazing figure, and I love having him part of my classified shelf. The Firefly we should have gotten, or maybe glad we got this particular Firefly. I'm surprised he wasn't on a retro card, but I'm not going to complain. This is the Firefly that is the nod to the original, but updated into classified. Absolutely amazing figure. Love the inclusion of the little remote control. The backpack is a nice nod to the past. Love the weapons loadout kit that he comes with, the night vision goggles as well too. I will say though, the Cobra Island Firefly, I do like the scowl or the crazy look in his eyes that we did see. But this particular Firefly has replaced him on my shelf. I think it's just an absolutely amazing figure, and I can't wait to see what we do with the updated Beachhead when we get it. Now, this is another one that I combined, and this is the Telly Vipers. We did get the Trouble Bubble with this particular figure, and I think it's one of those that we might see down the line in a retro card where you can pick up more of these particular figures. But I think the combination of the Telly Viper with the Trouble Bubble really pushed this one to be one of the best. I'll be honest, I wasn't excited about getting the Python Patrol, but now that I have the Python Patrol Trouble Bubble with the figure, I actually prefer that one a little bit more than the OG. I know, please don't send me too many hate comments on that. I don't know if it's the color scheme or just how crazy it is, but it's just a cool inclusion into the Python Patrol, which was not a line or sub team that I liked as a kid, but man, they're growing on me. That's not to knock the original Trouble Bubble. It is a home run. And of course, the Telly Vipers are great too. I like the inclusion of the 3 heads, so you can really personalize your loadouts for your squad if you're one of those folks that bought multiple of these items. And again, I hope we do get to see that particular figure on a retro card down the line. Retro carded Snake Eyes is the Snake Eyes that I've been waiting for. Absolutely love this figure. It is a nice homage to the Real American Hero, as well as what we got in the 25th, the 30th, and the 50th, I want to say. But just a really nice figure. Yes, he's in all black, but there's some different tones to the black. I love the accessories, even little small grenades that he came with that make it easy to lose into the carpet monster or wherever else that you may drop them. But overall, I just absolutely adore this figure. This is the Snake Eyes that I always wanted as a kid that I never got. So now they have him in classified. It was an easy yes. And then finally, the Cobra Eels, an absolute home run figure. Loved the updated version to him. Yes, he built off of the torpedo buck, but the helmet is great. The accessories were really cool as well too. The only thing that I will push back on is I wish he came with either a submachine gun or something else, just because these are the Cobra version of the Navy SEALs. And I want to see more weapons loadouts for these particular figures. Hopefully we'll see some more of that when they are retro carded down the line. But I think overall, this was a great classified type of figure. Again, it gives you a nod to the real American hero while modernizing them as needed. Great figure. Again, absolutely adore them. I can't wait to see more of our underwater type of figures, land, sea, and air, and now Arctic. So let's continue to build these out as we move into 2024. And these are the best of 2023 from Dreadnought Ryan of the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors. Let me know what your favorites were. And then what figures are you looking forward to most in 2024? I hope you guys had a great Christmas or holidays, and I hope that 2024 is better than 2023 for you as well, too. Again, thank you for all the support for everybody who has supported us through this whole ride on the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors. You folks are all amazing. Thank you for all of our original subscribers and everybody who's joined us on the way. We will continue to talk more G.I. Joe Classified as we move into 2024. I believe it is going to be an even better year for us classified fans. And I can't wait to see what the Joe team creates. We've seen some great figures so far, some great renders, but I think the best is still to come. So again, I hope you have a great new year, and wherever you're at on the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors, I hope you're just having a great day, evening, night, or morning. More importantly, Yo Joe.